Hello guys, and today we have here another interesting video. We have here a Nekroz mirror match because I'm an idiot and I just want to continue this debate. No, we've been having a really amazing conversation lately. If you guys haven't know, in my Nekroz deck profile, I've been going through many people have been really on this deck, and more comments than I think I've received on all my other videos combined on this just one video. And so it's been really crazy. So I actually ended up facing one of the players, or one of the viewers who ended up commenting. I'm facing him. He's playing his build. Let's check it out real quick. Let's see it. The Tsukiyomi though, like Snatch Steal's back, so that's really good. That, and it does get rid of a djinn because flipping it face down. And he does run the Valk that everybody's complaining about. Everybody's complaining about Valk, and it's like, anytime you can go for Valk, you can go for Trish, and possibly even Djinn, because it's really hard to go through a Kaleido, an Exo, and then get off a search for a Illusion still, and then have enough materials to go for a Valk. It's just way too hard to me to do that, or and any other way of getting out Valk. Like I saw in one of the duels, he got him out with Quasar and Unicorn, and it was like he could have Djinned me. And so that probably would have shut them out. And you gotta understand that I'm at the extreme in this debate, this conversation on djinn release of Ritual. Let me pull him up. Where is he? Here he is. If you're running Nekroz, you run him. No question asked. You have to run at least one. But I'm at the extreme. I run 3 and a Foolish. So that's a little way more than anything. And my deck's entirely based upon getting to him. And in the mirror match, doesn't work out so well. We will find out. So let's just continue on and see what he goes into. Double Trish and that Maxi there. But what I had to realize specifically from this duel is that you have to change your playing style when it comes to the mirror match. Because as you see here, I'm going to pretty much go off. Like I'm going to get through a lot of stuff. And here he Maxi, which I kind of found confusing. Like, why didn't you wait on that? But he goes and he Maxi. So I go here, but I don't think anything of the Maxi. I'm just gonna go straight in. Like, you can draw whatever you want. But then at this point, after I overlay for the Velvet Chain, I realize he's gonna Trishul on me, and so I have this debate here. Well, let's see. Once he hits the grave. At this point I was thinking he's gonna Trishul on me. Like I had no clue what he had in his hand, but I knew he was going to try to Trishul on me. And so I was really contemplating if I should just djinn him right here and right now, and how that would have gone. I probably should have. If you were running a djinn turbo build and you're in the mirror match, you Trishul immediately. You djinn immediately is what I should have, is better, because he has that Dark Hole, which he probably would have used. And what is he getting going to? He's going to go into Maxi. But I still have Garnier, which would have protected me from the Dark Hole. He would have gotten off searches, of course. He would have gotten off probably 2, because he probably would have gone for a Ritual spell card. But at that point, he would have lost. But I didn't, because he didn't have a field, so I couldn't really do it. And I was just too afraid. He has 6 cards. He's going to get 7. I was just way too afraid of just djinning him. But if you're playing the turbo build, you have to djinn immediately. Against other decks like Clifford's, or decks that don't really banish from the grave unless they have DD Crow, which in case could be game 2, you could get away with waiting. So let's see, he goes, of course, he then goes, what did he search out? Did he search out the Colossalist? So he goes for Shred and he gets Trishul. But at this point, instead of banishing the djinn, he actually banishes, I think, Kaleidomir, which I actually found interesting. And he hits the Trishul. Ouch! That sucks. He hits the Trishul. But that kind of does leave me with the ability to still djinn him, because I have Unicorn Grave and Garnier in hand. 3 plus 7 is, of course, 3 plus 4 is 7, of course. So I am still able to get away with what I wanted to do. And I draw into Shred, which is really good to me, because then if he does get out anything, I can just destroy it. So he Maxis. Dang Maxis. Although shared ride, I'd argue is better, because that actually does shut down the deck. And so I'm able to djinn him, but I didn't know he had Dark Hole, so of course he's just gonna activate it, get over it. But I feel like he's just kind of lucky. Like he's built his deck to be about getting over djinns. Like he runs the 2 Dark Hole, he runs Rejeki, he has the cards necessary to get over djinn. He runs Tsukiyomi, and targeting is better than destroying, because like I have Gunny on hand specifically to prevent that, but I don't always use Trishula, unless of course I have the djinn and I have him, but I don't always have 2 Trishulas in hand to do it. So Boogamoon and cards that target to get them monsters face down or leave the field, those cards are way better, because they just do it a lot nicer. It's less likely there'll be a stop. The best card though is Book of Eclipse that will completely shut it, and this guy just goes off. He Dark Holes and then goes off, and he's just able to cowboy me for games, which is a little bit sad. And don't worry, we have more duels, so I am going to cut away for that, and I'll meet you guys there. So this is game 2, guys. We have here sided, so I sided in a mind control just in case he djinn, and I was really iffy on when I was siding because I knew he only had 1 djinn, and a lot of my side deck is to try to stop djinn, but I kind of realized that, yeah, I should have sided in both Nekroz, both of everything. I just should have done it. But I do make a major misplay that probably would have let me play a little bit longer or let me win the game if he hadn't done something. So I open up with Senju, I get off a search for Brio to send, to get Unicorn. And then I send the Arclight, so I get off a search. And I already have djinn, so I don't think I make Revelvo chain, there's no real reason to. And here's my misplay. I set Mind Control. I forgot you needed to have a spell card to use it. So I just completely misplayed. If I had kept Mind Control in hand, I would have been able to actually go off. Well, got enough curse here. I was afraid that he would have like MST or something and he'd just get rid of it. So he has his Senju, which I found was interesting. So he goes for Colossus. Uses Colossus to get Kaleidomir. And now he grabs Valkyries, which is understandable, but he summons Valkyries and Unicorn. And this at the point is why I don't run Valkyries. He could have sent Arclight, searched out Exomir, overlaid, and Trishula'd me, and djinned me, and what would have I done? I'd had Mind Control, but that'd be about it. Like, what am I gonna draw? I'm gonna draw another Trishula. Even with the Mind Control, it wouldn't have done anything. Now if I had kept the Curcio in hand, of course, once he had Exomuted me, then I would have actually been able to do something. But besides that, if he did djinn me, I would have been completely shut out. But he didn't. But he does play around me very well, which I'd say, because he gets over the Senju, he gets over all my monsters, and I take a lot of damage. And he's like Kyoku, which is really annoying. Kyoku, like I can't banish stuff from either player's grave. Like I didn't even think of Kyoku, and it lets him. So he's able to go for Rhapsody and Berserk. When I saw that card, I was like, no, that's horrible. That card really hurts. Actually hurts in this matchup. And then he tributes both monsters, so I can't even Trishula him, which is just stupid. And then he draws into freaking Maxi, and now he's going searches. So that is really awesome. That is really good. But you could have djinned me. I still have a chance. I could djinn you. You couldn't play if I had the cards. I could have drawn into something better than a Trishula. Like I'm gonna draw into Manju next turn. But so it's just, to me, Valkyries, he takes too much. Like, he's not guaranteed. There's no knowing if you're gonna draw into the cards you need to djinn your opponent. And then he banishes the djinn, which makes me cry. But he doesn't banish Curcio, so that's decent. And I learned the hard life that Kyoku doesn't let me banish cards from either player's grave. That's just stupid. That was really bad. So I pretty much lost this game also. So as you can tell, the match is over. at this point. But he was able to play around me. I didn't have the material necessary, and I didn't do that misplay if I had negated Curseal. I mean, if I had negated Kaleidomir, which I'm not sure I would have. I don't think I would have actually, but then I would have just negated it this turn. I would have negated his Exomir that he activates if he didn't do it. So I'm just not sure about Valkyries, because like he played Valkyries very well, but if I had Djinned him, well, if I had the ability to Djinn him game 1, or if I did Djinn him game 1, there wouldn't have been a lot he would have done. He would have Dark Hold, I would have Gunny'd, and then it would have all been just top decking and deck thinning as hard as possible. And you guys see in another extra duel that I decided to record because it is just a good example of control in general. So let me bring up that duel real quick. Hello guys, and we are here with the third and final duel. And this is just another duel. This was game 2. We had another round. This was after we sided. And game 1, like he snatch stealed my Djinn Trishula, which made me cry. Like I cried because then Djinn's effect reverses. Don't know how many times I have to tell you that, but Djinn's effect reverses. Although I think you guys actually do know this. I'm just making sure. But it happened. It was on Depot, which made me really happy that they had that programmed. But he then snatch stealed it. Then he Tsukiyomi'd the Djinn. So I couldn't special summon, but then he let me special summon, and then I won. So I was like, you're an idiot. Like that would have been a good example of what Djinn can do, but this is also a good example of what Djinn can do. So he opens up with that Nekroz, which I was debating originally when running this deck, when first putting this deck together, but I didn't want to do too much with the side, or not with trap cards. I didn't want to do too much, but a lot of people, like, he doesn't even run Deneko, does he? Like, he doesn't run a single Deneko. That Swift Scarecrow though, which just makes me scared, because as a player that played ritual monsters, like I've played Relinquish, like you need that protection. But right now, cause Deneko is a thing, traps aren't too bad a problem, and because there's the ritual build of Burning Abyss, they don't have room for a lot of traps except Fire Lake, so there aren't a lot of traps going around. Like the major one is Royal Decree, and that is why I have Fairy Wind. If you guys are curious why I have Fairy Wind, besides the fact that it's good against pendulums, I have it in there just so that way I can get rid of skill drains, because it is awful. I hate skill drain against this deck. Shuts down Denekos, shuts down everything. So I activate Kaleidomir, he goes for the Maxi. And normally, like, I would have known, because Dev Pro always waits, but he played that way really well. Like, I wasn't sure if he had Max C or not. So I go for the Love Ball Veil Chain. And I think this time I actually just Djinn him. I'm just like, nope, you're not going to get it off. And I have the Gramble, which makes me happy. Because, like, Gramble, like, if I return a Trishula to hand, that risks me getting Trishula again. But it gets rid of a Djinn, so that means I can play my deck. And see, here he has the Rejeki, but I have the Gunnyr, which is probably the one reason why I did it. If I didn't have the Gunnyr, then with all this amount of cards, like, no, I wouldn't have done it. But here's why I think this is such a good example of control, is because he can't special summon, he has 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that he cannot really use. That he can't use optimal. If he could special summon, he'd Kaleidomir, he'd get out both of these guys probably. He'd go off, he'd be able to do so much, he'd get off that Rhapsody again. But the reason why I like control is this the risk. That's the whole entire risk, is that it's immobilizing your cards. It's still there, it can still shoot, but you can't really use it. And so, this is just why I like control. It's a lot more riskier. With stun, it's just punishment for activating cards. And that's one reason why people like it more, is that while it costs more, there tends to be more of a cost. Like you have to discard something, you have to do something like Solemn, you have to pay life points in order to get it off. Stun tends to punish and get rid of the cards. Well, control, it's very easy, doesn't really cost too much, granted, though I only have 2 cards. Which is another example why control is so good. 2 cards against 9 and 8, and I'm winning. That's just awesome, I think. I think that's really awesome. In Yu-Gi-Oh! But, anyways, it's just, this is just why I like control. It's just, I have less cards, but I'm still able to win. It doesn't matter how many cards you have, I'm still able to win because you can't do anything. And because Djinn is a card outside of my control, that's why I run Djinn. And so, let's see. Now, I know he has Valkyrie as an hand. I think I saw him search it. So, I don't summon the Gramble because it was like, I don't want him getting off searches. And I know with the Valkyrie is that he can choose when to do it. So, he'd of course let me bounce back Manju. And then he'd just negate the direct attack. So, I'm like, no, I'm not summoning Manju right now. Well, I'm not summoning Gramble. So he summons the other one, he's just going through deck thinning. That's what you do. You do not give up if you're in the mirror match. You never give up. If you're at a serious tournament, granted, and you're in this situation, you just deck thin, and he does not deck thin that hard. Like, he sits out, he gets Brio and then uses Unicorn to add him back. Like, use Brio to search Colossalus to search something else so that way you can draw into something. Like, you can draw into another Valkyrie next turn. So then I banish everything so that way he can't even Valkyrie as me. And here I attack over. I was really afraid of Honest. Like, I was afraid of Honest at this point because it's like all relying on this one card. Like, all I can think about is the millions of ways to get over it. Like, I'm thinking Snatch Shield, I'm thinking Book of Moon, I'm thinking Book of Eclipse. Like, he has that, but he doesn't. And so I'm just going off, and he sets a whole bunch of spell cards, and I'm just like, yeah, you can't do much. And then I get the curse here, where it's like, yay, even if he gets over, I can get him. I can do so. And this time I've learned my lesson, and I don't set the Exomir. I don't set the spell card, the one spell card I have. Does he even have... Yeah, he does have a Nekroz monster, so he let me kill him. Who is this? This is a shit. Like, I'm just really afraid of whatever he has. But this is... So we have 2 duels here. One duel I win because I have the Djinn and he can't do anything, and he's not lucky enough to draw into anything. The other games he does have answers, or he's able to play around it before Djinn. Again, if you're running, and here, this is why I was originally thinking, like, that is really good. That is really good. Like, if I had, and now I can't use Crystal, by the way. So, I just found it a really interesting matchup, like. But, anyways, the 2 duels, the guy plays around my Djinn, he plays through it, he's able to get the cards. And so, it's really just the number of cards, number of resources, how many cards does he have in his hand? Does he have that Dark Hole? Does he have that Spell Trap card that can get rid of my Djinn? No? I'm going to win. The Djinn is going to win. Yes? Then I have to hope that I have Gunny or Trishula. I have to hope that. And so, I get out the Neko. I think I only have 1 Neko. I think I said it out. And I'm like, I have Curcio face down. It would be so nice if I could Deneko these guys, because then he'd be really screwed. But I have that Curcio. Not that Curcio is bad. Like, I really enjoy Curcio. Like, it's good against the Clifford matchup. It's good against the Mirror match, obviously. It's good up against Shadol's. It's good. It's just good. And the deck runs 5,000 spell cards that I can't draw. And here, I kind of misplay. I just should have made Mech-Whip. But I attack with Gramble, and I'm like, oh, now I can't make, what's-her-face. And here, he switched Scarecrows. Yeah, he switched Scarecrows. But he should just be deck thinning as hard as possible. Like, he has the Brios, but is he going to use Brio this turn? Oh, then he gets out Kyoku, and I'm just... Yeah. That's unfortunate, once he gets out Kyoku. Because now I can't banish stuff. I can't DD Crow, I can't Soul Release, so that helps him, while also hitting me. So maybe Kyoku will be a card that I'll have to have in the side. Granted, it's too late for the Death Pro tournament. I've already sent in my deck list. But I now know how to play against the mirror match, so if I face it, yeah, I'm going to be sighting in those, all my DD Crows, all my full releases. I'm going to be sighting in my... Like, Gramble will be only if it's a turbo. Only if it's a turbo gen will I sight in Gramble. If it isn't, then I will focus more on just stun and trying to mess with his grave as much as possible. Like, you could easily sight in macro in this deck, and if you're going first and you open up a macro, you get off your stuff, you gen them, you activate macro, congratulations, you won. Because even if they search, it's not going to do much, because now they can't banish and grave, because there's nothing in grave. So he of course just Kyoku's me again, and he banishes the djinn, and he banishes the Brio. So he's pretty much going, nope, you cannot Trishula right now. And of course, what does he set? He sets another Mind Crush. And so this is also an argument for Valk, because he has been using Valk to to stall, which can help you go through. And I get another spell card in my hand, which makes me very happy. And at this point, I'm like, no, screw your Gyoku. He's going away. But he's just like, nope, end the battle phase. Just end it. And so that is an argument to for Valk, is that he can be used to stop battle phases, which is really, really nice. But he's just not drawing his cards. And he sets a max C, but he's just not drawing his. And then I draw prep. He's just not drawing his cards, which is making me very happy. I mean, this is just an example of how this is a game of luck. Then I get out. Then I have 2 extra moves, which makes me happy. And he gets off that max C. And he's like, oh, that sucks. But oh well. I get off some more searches. This is really good. Do I search? What do I search for? I don't think I have. I think my other Trishula is banished. Yeah, my other Trishula is banished. So I had to search for Ganira. And he gets that CPO me. And he's probably going, yeah. He's probably very happy that he has that CPO me. But I get in that attack for 27. If I had summoned the Neko, I would have gone for game. But instead, I'm just like, nope, Cowboy. And so, I put him at very low life points. But if I had summoned that to Nekroz, what if I gained? What if I gained? But I was thinking he had more Valks. I was thinking he had like 5,000 Valks. That's what happens. And so he searches for Nekroz of Trishula, or he activates it, but it isn't in my hand. And he did that because he's of course going to target Nekroz of Trishula, and if I had it, then he would have needed to do so. So he's now like, I'm going off. There's nothing you can do. He gets that illusion. He activates Exomir. I'm like, nope. Finally used it. I was like, yeah. I was very happy when I used that. And then he just goes for illusion. He goes for a Brio, so that way he can return my guy. And then he attacks, and he attacks for 11. But at this point, like, we have entered the grind. Because I negated Exomir, we are in the grind now. Because he doesn't have many cards, I don't have many cards. And it's really, what is this? It's a Kaleidomir. So I've won this duel. Because all I need to do is just summon Neospatial Gramble and her, and then attack. But I banished from grave, so that way I have a Nekroz card in hand, because I don't think I had any more. I don't think I really had any. Right, so let's see what was left in our deck. Gives DD Crows, Preps with no targets. My 3 Monjus. That's what I had left. He had some more ritual monsters because he wasn't on the deck thinning. Like, I didn't even do that much deck thinning. Like, it was all in that one match until I started drawing into preps and stuff again. And then I started doing some more deck thinning. Like, it was all on that. I couldn't do that much searching for a while. I don't even have any ritual spell cards, do I? No, I don't. I really had nothing. So I'm able to go for game. I return him to hand, and I'm just like, attack. And so, again, we have 2 duels. He plays around me, but I didn't really know how to play against the mirror. and nobody really knows how to play against them here unless they are living in Japan, in which case, congrats. You're in the OCG, and if you're watching this video, please subscribe. I'd love to get subscribers in the OCG. But if for the people here in the TCG, we really don't know the matchups except for the Clifford matchup. I think we know that all right. Maybe not like I don't know it because people quit every single duel where I activate Burrito. Like they just do. They're just like, no, not Nekroz, not Nekroz. They're just too horrible. And it's just like, you can play around the deck. But no, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully I didn't do anything stupid because I know we were having a very serious conversation on djinn. And hopefully this gives some enlightenment to whether or not it's good. He could have djinned me if he did that one game instead of going for Quasar. He could have, but then again, that would have left my grave intact. But how good would have that done? I could have just gotten off searches, that's all I could have done. So it's tomato. Either you stop them for the searching, or you just get rid of their cards. It's stun versus control. That's all it is. It's stun versus control. Do you want to use cards to get rid of their cards, or do you want to use cards to control and prevent? To me, I like to prevent because it hits an X number of cards. It hits every card in their hand that would try to special summon, and any card that would need to be special summoned. But yet stun is more certain. It's more certain. It's like Gores versus Trag. Was it Gores? Yeah, I think it was Gores versus Trag. That one discussion. And people were like, I know I'm gonna get a 27 beater. Trag, I could get a 6 beater. I could get a 0. Well, with Gores, you know you're gonna get a token, and you know, unless there's window, and you know you're gonna get a 27 beater at the least. So it's that type of discussion. Do you want to go for certain, or do you want to go for unknown? Djinn is the unknown. You don't know how many cards you're gonna hit. You don't know if they're gonna be able to get over it, how soon, and it becomes a lot on luck. But I've had a lot of luck with control. It's the whole reason Shaddolls were good, because they were a control deck. The better control deck though. And who do you want to go with stun? And so that is the root of the question. Tell me what you guys think down in the description. What do you guys care about? What do you guys want to do? And thank you guys for watching. We should have a whole bunch of interesting videos coming up throughout the week. We should have some hero videos. Actually 2 hero deck profile because Hero Strike just came out. Fortunately, I didn't get a structure deck fast enough. I called my card shop on Saturday and they were like, we're out. And I just cried. I went to Walmart, they were out, and so now I have to order off Amazon. Gar. It will be there. I want Dark Claw. I'm getting Dark Claw. And I will have that hero deck profile. And maybe a duel with hero sometime during the week. I know there's other people that are wanting the deck that I know, and so I might be able to record a match. But yeah, that's all for the future. We have Nekroz. Comment down below on Nekroz. And tell me I'm an idiot and don't know how to play the deck because I don't want to. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Bye.